Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Altenew live stream. How's everybody doing out there? I'd love to know who's out there watching right now. And I know we have a lot of, I'm over on the East Coast of the United States, and we've had some pretty crazy weather events. So I hope everybody is safe and that you're doing okay. We just had Hurricane Ida just pass through here where I am in Boston. So I hope everybody is safe out there wherever you are. And it's nice to see everybody. Hi, Daniel. Daniel, I loved your cards from the latest blog hop. They look beautiful. Hi, Dean. Hello, everybody. Oh, from Missouri. How are you doing? How are you doing out there? And Liana, it's so nice to see everybody. Nancy, thank you all so much for joining us today. Sue, how are you doing? My voice is echoing. Oh, boy. All right, let's see if we can. Sue, let me know if that helps a little bit. I kind of turned that down a little bit. And hello, everybody. I'm hoping my internet is going to work because we, like I said, we have the hurricane just passed through. So I'm hoping we didn't lose power here. So I'm very, very, very thankful. Yeah, Daniel, nice. And hey, Joni, how are you doing today? I just wanted to say that it's Angel behind the badge today. So just give a shout out, give a hello to Angel, who's going to be helping us out and putting some links in. And if you share this Facebook Live while it's happening, you will be entered to win a $15 gift certificate. Now you will be able to win a $15 gift certificate from Altenew. All right. And thank you so much, Sue. Let me know if it kind of fixes a little bit. So I hope we're going to be doing everything. So today was my first day of school. We had kids back, so I'm going to need a little energy from everybody to see how we do today. Levon, hello. I'm so excited that this is your first visit. Thank you so much for joining us today. And Sue, how is that doing? Is that doing a little bit better with my voice? I kicked the kids off their devices to make sure I have all the bandwidth here today. So I'm so excited that you're all here. And Sandra from Northeast England. Thanks, Daniel. I need that energy today. I'm lagging a little bit. I did already 6,000 steps just by walking around the building. So I appreciate it. So today I wanted to talk about kindness, and I wanted to talk about sharing kindness and spreading kindness. And oh, thank you, Sue. I'm glad if that's better on YouTube. Other people, feel free to do that if that is working a little bit. And this stamp set, I got to tell you, when I first saw this, it is adorable. And what I wanted to do today was, hey, hi, Rhea from the Netherlands. Thank you so much for sharing, Karen. And so what I wanted to do was to talk about sharing and spreading kindness. And this is an absolutely adorable stamp set that can be used for a lot of different things. And I know it's like Balloon Bunch and it's birthday, but I really thought we could make some interactive cards. And one of the cards that I think has a real huge wow factor are spinner cards. I'm going to try to do this from behind here. And so I'm going to show you how to make this today. And if you guys want, we can also make this into a shaker. And I encourage you to take your cards and share them around and spread some kindness around, because I think in our world, we really kind of need that today. So I thought this is just it's so easy to do, but makes such an impact and really puts a smile on people's faces. And I was thinking today, I don't know what it was, but about random acts of kindness. And I was wondering if you have ever experienced a random act of kindness, or you have ever done a random act of kindness. So I was in the drive-thru today, and I was like, I just kind of want to pay for the person behind me. So think about that. This is another really cheap, easy, super way to just get a lot of impact, is a little Peekaboo card. So if we have time, we might be able to get to this today. And then final one is to make a Gatefold card. And what I do with these is I have a separate tag, and this tag can pop off and it can become on a little present. And so you can put that out. So, oh, Sue, that's so good that you send out cards. And oh, Christine, it's so nice that you buy the Starbucks of the person behind. And that's so nice that that has happened. And so I want to encourage you, think about kindness and even just making your cards and to share all the love that you put into your handmade cards and then send those along and share that love. And because a lot of people need a lot of this kindness right now. So what I want to do today is I'm actually going to start with the most complicated card, which is this little spinner card. And then you guys let me know if you want me to show you the other ones, or I can take this same design and I can make a shaker card. And that might be super kind of fun. So, but I'm going to do this. So we're going to start with this little spinner card, and I'm going to send this down. Sue, that's so nice that you sent out birthday cards and then one thinking of you. And Joanne, I'm so glad, like this again, it's so impactful, but it's actually pretty easy to do. It's not so super bad. So just as a reminder before I shift down, that if you share this today, and just let us know where you shared it on social media during the live session, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew, so you can buy some of the products that we're going to be using today. All right, I'm going to shift down. And as I do that, I'd love to know if you have some random acts of kindness, or if random acts of kindness have happened to you. I'd love to know that. All right, I'm going to shift down, and you will see my work surface. All right, so right now you're looking at my work surface. And what you can see is the balloon bunch that we're going to be using. And the inks that I have, and I'm going to grab these. This is a set that I don't always use a lot, but this is called the Spring Bouquet set. And I love it because it's got greens and pinks on there too. Thank you, Elizabeth. And you know what, your friend who's a teacher needs a huge hug right now because we just all started school. And it's so wonderful to have the kids in the classroom. It was great walking around today. I said hello to everybody, checked in with all the teachers, and it was just really, really super fun. All right, I think I want an orange, and I'm trying to decide between warm and cozy, but I think I want the other one, which is golden sunset. I can't find it. Here it is. All right, so I just picked some like super bright and happy colors, and I think these are them. I think I might grab a teal in a second. So we have Spring Bouquet, and I have a Golden Sunset, and I also have Pocket Full of Sunshine. Sorry, I was just reading some comments. Thank you guys so much. Chris, thank you. Congratulations on 38 years of teaching. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to first just grab a piece of paper, and I'm just going to stamp a bunch of these designs because I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut them out. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, this I don't do for a lot, but a lot of times I'm going out on a limb and I'm going to stamp these freehand. And if you ever do a live with me, you know that I can't really stamp without my stamp positioner. But this set is so super easy to line up that I'm going for it. Just to let you know, there's a little layering guide in the back of this. And so you can see that there's just 2 layers, and they just make this really cool looking effect. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these. And I'm just going to do 2 of each. So I'm just going to put this right on my block, and I'm going to grab this Spring Bouquet. And this is the base layer. So I'm going to do this in the baby pink, which is the lightest of the Spring Bouquet. And I love how there's pink and green together, because if you like need something that's going to coordinate for a flower, the Spring Bouquet is really super easy to use. All right, so I'm just going to do 2 of these. So I'm going to do 2 of each shade. All right, that is our guy. And then the other side of this, so this is, oh, I just did that. Yeah, that's right. This is the detail layer. So I'm going to grab this and put this back in. And then this is the detail layer. Put him in here. And I'm going to grab the magenta for this. See how this looks. All All right, so let me know. Are you somebody, I think of sending cards as a random act of kindness because I like to send cards out to friends and make them feel a little bit better. Just let them know that I'm thinking about them. So I'd like to know in the comments if you're somebody who, do you kind of send your cards out or do you send little gifts? Do you send like a note card grouping? Like do you send out like things? I just got to pause for a second on the coolness of this. Yep, I'm going to show this to you a little bit. Oh my gosh, that looks so, so cool. Look at how beautiful that is. All right, let me see if I can bring that down for you a little bit. All right, for you guys. All right. Okay, there it goes. All right. Oh, Lori, that's so nice that you gave her cantaloupe. That's so wonderful. Oh, thanks, Christine. Yeah, I really like these colors, and I really like this stamp set. All right, so I'm going to move over to the star, and I'm actually going to do the star in the green. So I'm going to grab the base layer, and I'm going to do that in my lightest, which is Limeade. And I'm just grabbing these because I'm going to use them as elements on my other cards. And I just wanted to show you how easy these this set works and sets up. Super easy. Okay. All right. Oh, Karen, that's so nice. Hi, Jennifer. How are you doing over there in Connecticut? Hope you're doing okay. And the weather isn't too bad for you. So when I line up the star, there's this little, you just got to make sure that you're like lining up the little bit of a bottom to it. There's like this little bottom where the rope would be tied. All right, I'm gonna line that up. And I like the difference between the super dark and the super light one. Put that in there. All right, so that's our star balloon. And then I'm going to grab this last one. I'm going to do this one in the orange. Okay, put these guys back. I always kind of clean up as I go just because I tend to lose things that are out on my desk. I don't know how we ever got over there. Melissa, let me know if you're having some troubles. Karen, I'm glad that you are doing well, that you're sending cards out. Oh, Jennifer, yeah, we got a lot of rain down near our end too. All right, so this is Sunray. This is the lightest of the Golden Sunset. I'm just going to do 2 of these, just so I have these ready for some of my other cards. And with the die set, this is really easy to just go ahead and put out. And then I'm going to grab Snapdragon for my other one. Okay. And I'll hold these up so you can take a look. Okay. You just have these really, really nice. Hi, Teresa. How are you doing? We're doing some interactive cards today. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to die cut these out. In fact, I think I'm going to go with the pink balloon here. And we're going to turn this into a spinner card. And the spinner, what we have to do with the top is we have to get it so it's above the card base. And there's 2 ways to do this. You can either use fun foam. So I've actually pre-cut some fun foam, or you could use tape, foam tape. And I like the fun foam because this gives it a full dimension. There isn't any sort of space in here. So I like the fun foam. It's a little bit better, but the hard part is you have to line up all these die cuts from the middle, okay? So first thing we're gonna do is on a card front, I'm gonna stencil it. And you could do stamping, or you could do anything, but I love this stencil. It's called the halftone stencil. And what's so nice about it is that it really goes, I just love the graduation from these tiny dots down to the bottom. And even though this looks like I used 4 colors on here, I think I only used 3. I used the lime, and then I went into one of the yellows, and then I did, I think this is baby pink. But because those colors overlap and they're analogous, they will actually create new colors that are in between. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get set up, and I'm going to use my stencil. My stencil, I'm going to use some brushes for this and grab some of these. All right, so while I'm doing that, let me know, are you somebody who makes interactive cards? You make them a lot? Do you give them out? Or is it like, are you just kind of nervous about interactive cards? So I'd like to know, what do you think about, are you kind of a person who makes interactive cards? I like them, they're fun. They're kind of super fun to do. All right, so I'm going to line up these 3. I might go a little bit darker, but we'll see how it goes. So, all right. Yep, I hope for Melissa that does work. All right, so I'm going to grab my halftone stencil and some blending brushes. And all I'm going to do on a card front, so I just have a regular size card front, A2 size. And I'm just going to grab my silicone mat. This is an oldie but a goodie from Altenew that you're about to see is very, very well loved. But it's really, really great for blending. I do just kind of clean it up and I just put it up. But I've got it, it's my, they now sell it as the Altenew stamp set. Oh, Lori with the sliding features. Yeah, if we have time, let's see if I can get to that. I like doing that because it's really nice. These cards are pretty easy to do, even though it seems like you did a lot. They really kind of come together pretty quickly. All right, I'm just going to kind of tape this down, and I'm going to hold a lot onto it, or I'm going to hold onto it quite a bit. I'll just grab some inks. Here we go. All right, so let me start with this one. I'm going to grab this lime, so I'm going to start with lime. And Liana, this is the time. Feel free to stamp along. These things are getting tight. I don't know what. Oh, there we go. All right, let's take a second. All right, so this is the lime ink. I'm going to start up with green, and I'm going to go on down to the pink. This might be a little dark. Oh, yeah, that looks nice. Now I'm going to go about 1/3 of the way down with my blending. And these blending brushes, they just make this so easy. They just make this so super easy. And so this is the halftone stencil as we're going along. Thanks for sharing, Carol. And if you share on social media while we have the live today, you will be entered to win a $15 gift certificate to Altenew. All right, I'm going to grab, while I'm here, I just want to make that a little bit darker up at the top. Oh boy, caps are having a problem with my caps today. This is when you know. That's when you know you and your card are fighting. Aren't that, Carol, aren't they great? Daniel, aren't they wonderful? Oh my goodness. So good. I never really thought I'd like a brush this much, but I gotta tell you, I really, really like it. Okay. Let's see if I can get some of that ink off of my hand. All right, I'm going to come in. I was going to go citrus first, but I think I'm going to go fresh lemon. I want to make this a little bit darker. So I'm going to grab a separate blending brush. And I'm just going to grab this yellow. And now I'm going to go to the middle third. Ooh, that might be a little too bright. That's all right. So I'm overlapping it with the green. So I make this kind of green yellow. And I'm going to go down here to this lower third where I'm about to put the pink. All right, so now I'm going to grab my other blending brush, And I'm going to start with baby pink, but I might switch over to fuchsia in a second if I can get my cap off here. I just love these colors. They're bright, they're springy. Here we're about to, you know, it's starting to get a little bit colder, and we're going to turn into fall. So I kind of hanging on to spring and summer as much as I can, especially with the fact that we just started school today. Just want to keep on going. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right, Lori. Using a sponge with stencils left gaps between spaces. And oh, yeah, that's true. All right, so you can see as I kind of come along with this stencil into the yellow, it's making an orange. So I'm making another color here, which is what I want to do. All right, and I think I'm going to grab this fuchsia. Oh boy, there we go. I'm going to just grab this fuchsia and then just go up from the bottom. Just want to make this a little bit brighter. And so this is nice and bright. These colors go so well together. And then I get that blend of that orange right there. All right, are we ready for the moment of truth? This is always my favorite time. When I stencil is when I get to lift it up. Danielle, good afternoon. Oh, thanks, Lori. No, I'm actually from Boston, and I do my best to try to cover up my accent a little bit. So look at how beautiful that is. Isn't that pretty? So you just, like I said, you have this blend from the green all the way to the yellow, and then where you have the mix between the yellow and the pink. And so that's what I like to do, is just using 3 colors. It looks like I used 5, but I didn't, just use a couple. All right, so we have this piece. And now what I want to do is I have to cut a hole in the center of it. And that's because that's going to be where I put my little die. So I'm going to cut out my little die. So let me grab my trusty sidekick right now, which is the mini blossom. And I'm going to grab the dies for this, and I think I wanted to do the heart. So I'm going to pull the heart out. Actually, you guys tell me, which one would you like me to die cut? What do you think? Heart, star, or round balloon? Heart, star, or round balloon? I think so, Liana. I'm going to blame the fact that I can't get these lids off, and I have now inked up my entire hand on the humidity, because it is definitely not me on that one. So what do you think? Heart, star, or round balloon? Which one do you want to cut out to be in the middle? Star. We got the heart, star. Heart, heart. Yeah, we're getting a lot of hearts. Hearts are coming in. Hearts are coming in. Heart. Okay, we will do the heart. All right, so I'm going to cut out both of these because I need them to be right on top of each other. So I'm going to cut out both of them. So before I do that, because this will not fit in my mini blossom, I'm just going to cut this right down the center. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of tape, and I'm just going to stick this right onto my mini blossom plate. And I'm just going to cut out this heart. And so, like I said, I'm going to cut out both of them, and then I'm going to glue them together. Not yet, though, because I got to put some thread in the middle. But again, super easy. So all we did so far was we stamped the balloon bunch, and we inked up a background. And this background is going to be the one that is going to be on our card. So it's going to be right like this. Okay, so that is one of our hearts that I have. So I'm going to put that aside. Don't lose that. And then I'm going to grab the other heart, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out. I love this little mini blossom because I can do this so super fast. Just stick it on there, run it through, and it's just done. Doesn't take up a lot of space on my desk. And it's just done and done. All right, so we got those two. I'm going to put this guy aside. All right, so now I have a different set. I don't have an Altenew set of of infinity circles. I have a different set, so I'm going to just go ahead and I'm just measuring up. In fact, let me get my ruler to make sure. And what I want to get is a heart that's going to be, or a size circle that's going to be big enough to fit my heart and allow it to spin properly. So that looks about right. I'm going to double check. Do I want to make this a little bit smaller? Maybe I do. I don't think so. I kind of like that size. Well, let's go a little big. Let's go a little bit bigger today. All right, so we're going to go a little bit bigger. So I'm going to take this and let me move my mat. So just to let you know, the size circle that I am putting out right now in centimeters, for those of you who are not in the US, I got at about a little under 6.5 centimeters. And for those of you in the US, I'm about 2.5 inches. Okay, so I get 6 centimeters, a little over 6 centimeters, and a 2.5 inch circle for this balloon punch. All right, so I want this to be right smack dab in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and put this right there. And I'm going to cut out, and I'm just trying to make sure it's kind of equidistant on both sides. All right, I'm just going to put some tape down. Now, I obviously cannot run this through my mini blossom, so I got to put this through my bigger die cutter. So now I got to find my plates. I didn't pull my plates up. Apologize. All right, sorry about that. I got to grab my big plates. Big die cutter plates. All right. All right, so I'm just going to put this right on here. Don't need that guy. All right, we're just going to run this through. So while I'm getting this ready and while this is going, I'm going to clean up my work surface just so I don't mess anything up. And the next step that is really kind of a make or break, like the next thing that's a really big make or break, is cutting out the hole in the exact same space on the card front. All right, so right now we have this, and now we got to cut it out on the card front. So I'm going to pull in a card front. This is an A2 size card front. And I got to make sure that this hole goes exactly in the same exact spot. So I'm going to take my tape off. I can get it. Here we go. And I just reuse my tape pieces all the time. There's really nothing wasted in my craft room. All right, here we go. All right, and then this little piece we're going to save. I'm going to save this. This is important. This is not going anywhere, this little guy. All right, so how are we doing out there? Doing great. Okay. So let me line this up. Now, what's nice is I'm just going to use the hole that I have. And before I do that, I'm going to take a second and I'm going to cut this down to the card size front that I want, which I happen to be a person, I always like to have a little edge on everything. So I kind of cut everything down to 4 inches wide. It's going to go a little bit on that side, by 5 1/4. And I'm just trying to make this kind of equidistant on both of these sides. So I'm going to do 5 1/4 here. All right, so that's going to give me a little bit of an edge. Let me pull those out. And then I now can take this. I'm going to line it up exactly where I want my card front to end up at. And then I'm going to tape this little guy through. Now, it's okay that I run this whole thing as is through my die cutter again. Okay, tape it down, and it's okay because it already cut the circle from the card front. But one big thing you need to remember is open up your card. Please make sure your card's open as you put it on the plates, because otherwise that one is a big boo-boo. This one, so you want to make sure your card front's open. I'm going to go ahead and put it on my plate, and then I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. And in it goes. All right, so while I'm doing that, I'm going to grab some thread, and I'm going to grab some glue. All right, here we go. And there's one more thing that I need to cut, which is my fun foam. So like I said, there's two ways that you can do this. You can use foam adhesive. So there's my card front. It's all ready to rock and roll. You can use foam adhesive and kind of stick the pieces to give this a little bit of a rise, or you can use fun foam. And so what I've done is I've already pre-cut a piece of fun foam to just smaller than my card front. So when I put this on here, you'll see that there's like a little bit of an edge to this. And then I'm going to take this same thing, I'm going to tape this down, and then I'm going to run that through my die cut machine again. So this is my last pass with the die cut machine, and that's to cut out my piece of fun foam. Now while I'm doing that, I'm going to get my other supplies ready. So this is the Enchanted gold thread, and this comes in a pack of 3 in the metallic thread. And this was one of those things that I was like, I'm never buying this. And I got to tell you, I use it a lot as little accents. So I'm going to use the Enchanted gold thread. And so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put all of this together. We're going to put all of this together. All right, here we go. So what we have done is I cut a hole in my card front that we went and stenciled through. I cut a hole in our card base that's going to be, everything's going to be on top of that. And then I cut a hole in a piece of fun foam. And that fun foam is going to give me some nice stability. All right, so I'd love to know right now, how many of you think you can do this? How many of you out there are like, yes? My bigger cutter is a Gemini. That's what I have, as a Gemini. That's what I use, and that's why you can hear it, because it's an electronic cutting machine, and I like that because I can just like set it and forget it and like let it go, and it will do its job without me having to hand crank it. All right, this tape, I think I got humidity against me today, but that's all right. We will work with that. I'm ripping a little bit on myself. We'll just fix that with some jots at the end. All right, my tape is being a little crazy. All right, tape. That's all right. Okay, so now what we're going to do, before I totally do this, we're going to pick a sentiment from our stamp set. And I'm going to pick Make a Wish. Oh, let's have a party. That's fun. And I'm just going to stamp this onto my card front, a little freehand here, and I'm just going to do it with Obsidian ink. And then we're just going to take this and we're just going to go ahead and we're going to assemble it all together. I'm just going to put this right in there. And I love Obsidian ink because it's so crisp and clean, and it dries really, really quickly. And you just see how that just looks so nice right through there. So that's our card front. Yes, Nancy, you can do this. All right. And Alexia, the Gemini it's a good machine. It's a nice electronic machine. All right, are we ready? So first thing we have to do is I'm going to take my fun foam and I'm going to put it onto my card base. And you can do this either with glue. I'm going to use glue because it's a little bit faster, and I still can kind of move it around. Or you can use tape to go ahead and stick this on. I find glue is just really, really super easy, and I'm going to stick this in. So since the way that we die cut it, all these openings are going to line up, and that's what we're looking for. So I just got to double check. Here. All right, so you can see I'm just making sure. So this is going to line up absolutely perfectly. If it doesn't, it's okay. You can go ahead and cut a little bit of edges off. but this lines up really, really well. So I'm just going to give that a second to dry and adhere to it. Okay, now, remember our hearts from before? We got our hearts, right? So we're going to take our hearts, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these together, but I'm going to glue them together with some thread in between. And I'm going to give myself enough thread on the top and the bottom. So I'm giving myself a nice long lead, and I'm going to put that right smack dab in the middle. And then I'm going to take my other balloon, and I'm just going to smash that right on top. And so now what I have is my little spinner. And so this is the guy that goes right in the middle. And so you see, he just spins. Super duper easy. Super duper easy. And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick him on here, and then we're going to stick this on here. All right, now before I do that, I want to adhere this piece onto the inside of my card base, but I want to make sure it kind of lines up perfectly well with everything. So I just do that. It's just a little bit easier to do it before everything is kind of in there. So I'm just going to grab some glue, and I'm going to just put this right in. So I just have this lined up the way I want to make sure that it is at the end. And I'm just going to put this in. So you see how I'm turning it to kind of make sure that the dots line up? Because we cut this out from this piece. So I'm just turning it to make sure that the dots line up. Okay, there we go. So now we have that piece, and it's on the bottom, not perfectly, move over, and it's on the bottom of our card base. So when we open the card, there's our piece already in there. So it's already a little bit decorated. It's a little bit decorated. Okay, now we're going to put this together. So I'm going to grab some glue. And I'm just going to put this right on my fun foam. You also could add tape to this, a really, really strong dry adhesive. Sometimes that's how I like to put the foam on card bases. And then I just take my spinner, and I'm just going to put this right in the middle of that guy. So he's nice and tight. Want him to have a little bit of slack. So I'm just going to pick this up. And remember, I still have my tail down here, so I can put this right where I want it to go. And I use glue, so I have an ability to kind of move this little piece around. Okay, now I'm going to fix my slack on both ends. And then I'm going to let it sit. Let it sit. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut my strings out. And you can add this the spinner between, I put it between the foam and the card base. You also could put it between the foam and the card front, and that's my spinner. Super duper easy to do, and such a huge impact, and such a lot of fun. Such a lot of fun. So super easy to do. All right, so we have a little bit more time. What do you guys think? You think that this is something that you can do? Could you yes, absolutely. You can put tape on it. That's going to keep it in place. It's going to, you can use tape in. That's a little bit easier. And then this will go ahead and this will spin. I probably gave it a little bit too much slack because I'm doing this kind of fast, but it definitely can spin in place. And it's nice because it's just like a little bit, it just gives it kind of this little super fun element. Thanks, Sharon. Yeah, I hope that you guys try this. This is actually really super fun to do. I wanted to try this one next with you guys. And this is, I love this because I do this with holiday cards. And you can put like a gift tag on here instead of the balloon that says like to or from, that somebody could actually take off. Like I said, you know, this is removable, and you can take it off and you could actually use it as a gift on there. And this is actually really easy to do as well. So let's move over. I think I'm going to have time to make this card with you today. So what you're going to start with on this card is you want to start with a piece of paper. So if you think of a sheet of 8.5 by 11, and you have just cut it in half. So you end up with one piece that's 8.5 by 5.5 inches. So 8.5 by 5.5 inches. And what we're going to do is I'm going to score this. I think it's at 2 1/3. And I'm going to score it to make a gatefold card. 2 1/8. It's at 2 1/8. Just want to double check my my measurement there. Yep, 2 1/8. Okay. So I'm going to score this right at 2 1/8. And I'm going to score it on both sides at 2 1/8. All right, so now that I have that scored, I'm going to go ahead and reinforce these folds. And that's going to give me a gatefold card. That's it. What we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add some tape just to kind of close these two pieces. And then I'm just going to stamp all over this thing. And it's super easy to do. Let me grab just a little bit of tape. How many of you make gatefold cards out there? Is that a card that shape that you do? Yes, that's right, Sue. That would be so cute. And I think it's like the spinner card that we just made. It's kind of a big surprise because people aren't really expecting to see a card like that. So it's really kind of cool. All right, let me bring my Balloon Bunch stamp set back in. And I am just going to really quickly stamp some hearts and stamp some stars and stamp some balloons here. And you know what I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to take the caps off. I don't have to deal with them again. That was a little crazy last time. Let's see what I need. And then I need the little sunray. And we'll do a little of the citrus burst. Okay, so we're just going to stamp a whole bunch of these. And I'm just going to go right over. So I'm going to start over here with citrus burst. And I'm just making a background. You could also do this not, by using a stencil, but I'm just looking for something that's a little bit fun and kind of playful. And so I'm just going to take these shapes and just kind of make a random pattern all over my card front. And sometimes I'm going to stamp a little off. Sometimes I'm going to stamp a little close. All right, let me grab this guy. All right, here we go. Now I'm going to put some green in for my stars. So let me know, is gatefold cards, do you think about gatefold cards? Is that a shape that you kind of make a lot? Oh, that's a great idea, Christine, to add some numbers or letters on to really personalize it. That's really cute. This is a really versatile set, and I like it because you can really use it for a bunch of different types of events. You know, from anniversaries. I know I always think about it, I guess, with birthdays. But I really, really like this set. It's a really cute set. Okay, this guy. Okay, how are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing good. And so I'm just going to stamp this around. And I like how quickly this little background comes together. And if you wanted to, you don't even have to stamp the other You don't even have to stamp the second layer. Honestly, the first layer looks really nice. So I like the versatility in that you can kind of push it that way too. I'm going to put in a little bit of this sun ray. I want a little bit of orange in here too. So I can sneak this little guy in here. There we go. Sneak a couple more balloons in. Let me do one over here, down here. Okay. All right, so I'm actually going to, just in the interest of time, I'm not going to stamp the second layer to this, and I'm just going to keep this as it is, because that looks kind of cute as it is right now. Okay, that's a little bit. So you can kind of see those colors. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to make my belly band. And so on the other piece of 8.5 by 11, I am going to take this, and since like this, show you guys. So this all the way folded, like I need something that's going to go like around it, double it, and so I can just cut, and I'm just going to cut a 1 inch strip off of this, and I think that this is exactly a 1 inch strip. So I'm just going to cut a 1 inch strip off of the other piece of paper that I have. And then I'm going to take the colors that I used to blend on my other stenciled sheet. And you could do this like with the stencil. In fact, let's get a little funky. I'm going to bring that halftone stencil back in. Where are you, buddy? Let's get a little funky with this. I'll get a little funky with you guys. All right, let me grab the lime. All right. I'm going to grab the lime, and I'm just going to stencil right on top of here. And I'm trying to do just the top half of it because I want to put yellow in the bottom. But I'm just going to line these dots up, and then let me stencil the other side. And it's just so nice how quick that comes together. Grab some lemon. And I like mixing up my colors, kind of seeing what other combinations can come from them. So I'm just going to kind of do this real quick. Just add a little bit of yellow. Just add a little bit of interest to this. Okay. So now I have my my belly band, and this is going to go around my card front. But I need to make my little tag. So I'm going to go back to those pieces that I had die cut out before. And I think I'm going to die cut out this, this one right here. So let me grab my trusty sidekick, Mini Blossom again. And instead of using the heart die, this time I'm going to use the circle die for the round guy. Actually, let's do the star. You guys want to do the star? Let's do the star. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm just going to cut this out. And this is an opportunity to use your thing. Oh, thank you so much. I like interactive cards too. I feel like they give, like, they're a really big kind of punch to them. I think it's not too much effort. I know, like, we did a lot of die cutting and we did blending and stamping, but I feel like they're really quick to put together. So I hope that this gives you some inspiration to try them, because they really are super easy to do. But sometimes they just look more complicated than they are. All right, so here is our second star. So I'm going to glue these stars together, but I need a hole punch. So I'm going to grab that tool that's in all of our arsenals. I have it too. You guys have it, which is that 1/8 hole punch. And let me grab that. Right? Everybody have this? how much you're using it, how much you're pulling this out. All right, so I'm going to grab my glue. I'm just going to glue these two together. And the glue is nice and easy because then I can just wait for it to come up. And then I'm just going to give this a little punch. And that's so I can turn it into a tag. There we go. Oh, my humidity is really crazy. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to reach for that metallic thread that I had from before. And I'm just going to go ahead and push this right through it. And then I'm going to turn this into a tag. So I'm just going to bring it up and then just do a really, really quick little knot. I got to tell you, I'm not super great with my knots. This is the easiest way for me to do this. All right. Oh, I'm sorry if it's blurry for you. We've had a big storm that's gone through, so I hope I'm wondering about our internet out there. All right. So how's that? So you can just see that little tag right there. All right. So we have our belly band. So on my card, I'm just going to put this belly band right in the front, and I'm just going to fold it right around the sides. Now I can take this to my scoreboard because I know what the size is. So I can take this and I can score it at that 2 1/3. Sorry, 2 1/8, because I know where that is, because it's going to bend right about that side. So I'm just going to take it and just go right at 2 1/8. So now I'm going to have my belly band, and I'm going to use dry tape for this. I'm not going to use glue. Okay. So I'm going to push this around, and it might just need to be a little bit right over there. So it's just slightly. So you might want a little bit of a bigger piece for them to put together. And then now that this is on the front, we're just going to use a little bit of dry adhesive in order to attach my star. And that way I know that it could come off. You could also clear emboss this just to make this as good. And it's good. So that brings us right to just about time. I'm not sure if I have enough time to make our third card, but I can kind of. This is very, very similar to the way we made the first one. And this is called a Peekaboo card. Thank you. Yep, we are okay. We had the big storm came through, but fortunately there's a lot of flooding in our area. But fortunately we didn't have too much of it, so it's okay. But the power, we had a little power outage too, so hopefully we're doing fine right now. But thank you. I used another stamp set that's called Kind Confetti. And I love this stamp set because it brings out this background. And hey, April, it brings out this background where you can kind of make all of these different colors. And so what I did here is I actually used this color, or this stamp, which is just this one. It's super easy. And I stamped it in a variety of colors up at the top. I die cut out the star shape, and then when you open it up, you can kind of see all of these other pieces down in the back. And I like this too because it's a little bit of a surprise card. So we have about just a couple minutes here. So I don't think I have enough time to totally go through this card, but I did want to show you all of this. So let me come on up and show you what we did today and what we made. And I hope that this inspires you to try an interactive card. So hi, everybody. I hope you're doing okay. And for those of you, thank you for those of you who shared this during the live stream. That's super great. Thank you so much for helping us know. So I totally encourage you, Christine, thank you so much. This is, these are super easy to do. So feel free, the spinner card, like you saw, is just a little bit of die cutting. And we could have stamped this front. We could have, you know, I like the stencil because the stencil really kind of shows you all of, you know, these nice, wonderful colors that you can get. Thank you so much, Kathy and Sharon. I know, Sharon, this is great. I do this for all my nieces and nephews. So thank you so much, Nancy. And thank you, Angel, who is behind the badge today, putting up all the links for you. And then we made our little belly band card. So we have our little belly band card, and I didn't happen to stamp the other piece of this that would have made it a little bit brighter. So just on my demo card, you can see I ended up and I had time to stamp the other layers. So so I just have this little belly band card that goes right in, and then I have this tag that you can take either put on or off, and this is really great for holiday cards. And just to let you know, on the tag, I also clear embossed it just to give it like a little bit more strength to it as well. Oh, thank you so much, Sue. Thank you, Carol. I really appreciate you all being here. And then the card we didn't get to today, but I do encourage you, this is a really simple, easy way to do it, is a little Peekaboo card. So all I did was just stamp this on the front, and then I just put a die in to cut that through. And on the inside, I pasted my die cut, and then all I did was stamp in a couple more balloons. So super duper easy to do. So I'd love to see if you end up and you try a little spinner card. This is great for the grandkids because they love, you know, some different types of things. A Peekaboo card or a Gatefold card with a separate tag that can come off. So, well, thank you all so much for joining me today. Thank you all for sharing this. And I'd love to see your projects. We're over on Facebook on Altenew Fan Club, on our fan group. And I'd love to see that. And you can tag me, Amy Hill, or of Seven Scraps. But I wanted to thank you so much for joining us today. And I hope that you are feeling inspired. And I hope that you go ahead and share your card and share your kindness out with somebody else. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day today. And I hope that you now have some ideas from some stamping to do. All right. Thank you so much.